Before I start this, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who said all the nice things about my new intro. I love it too. And to everybody that has said all the nice things about me and Aiden. We will be doing some more stuff together very soon. We've got some stuff in the works coming out very soon as well. So yeah, it's all coming. It's all going to be great. Thank you for your support so far. Loving it. Let's get on with this. I can't wait. Hello, and welcome to Red Sheet Media with me, Tom Elgie, and today I am overjoyed to be talking to you about what is the best comic book movie I have ever seen. It's out there. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. If you don't like it, whatever. But yeah, this film right here, is just sense. Oh my god, let's just start with the bit that I really want to talk about. Spider-Man in this movie. Oh my god, Spider-Man in this movie is unlike any Spider-Man we have had before. Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, go away. We don't want them, because we have this guy. This guy is Peter Parker, and he is Spider-Man, and he will be for what I believe will be a very long time. If they don't do a trilogy with this guy, they're doing something, they don't know what they're doing, because this is going to be huge. And you can tell that since Sony let Disney and Marvel have their little way with Spider-Man, you can tell their influences have made it more true to the original and more what we wanted from a Spider-Man. And they call it a cameo. I think it's a little bit bigger than a cameo. I think he is quite easily the bottom of the cast list. He is as much of a cameo as Black Panther is. This is just a sensationally good rendition of Spider-Man. I cannot believe how good Spider-Man was in this film. It's actually blown me away. So yeah, that's that. I just want to get that out of the way. Spider-Man, because I want to say more, and in my full spoiler review I will. But this is non-spoiler, so I'm not going to get into spoiler territory. But that... Marvel, you have done it. You have made us a Spider-Man that we wanted for so long. And I know there will be some complaints that they've made him all Deadpool-y, but I don't believe that is the case at all. I think you're just over-analysing it a little bit, really. I think people who say that are thinking that would have affected it when Civil War was practically certainly shooting-wise, was finished by that point. So, yeah, as I say, Spider-Man in this is the Spider-Man we've wanted for a very long time, and I'm so glad we finally got it. So yeah, that's Spider-Man. I'm not going to talk about Spider-Man that much again, unless I have to, unless he comes up, but yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. Spider-Man, brilliant. So that's tick, followed by something I really wanted to happen. Then we can move on to what is probably the other moment that I absolutely love, and Spider-Man's in it, is the big scene. You've seen it in the trailers. There's a big scene at an airport where they have their big fight, and you think, when you see that trailer, you believe that showdown at the airport, at least I believe, I'm not going to tell you what you thought, but I thought that was the big showdown at the end of the film. They're going to have this big fight at the airport, and it's going to be an epic fight at the end. Nope. That is like the middle fight in the film, or like the second act of the film. It's so good. Like, it's the best. That sequence is the best sequence in the whole thing, and the whole thing is like a solid 9, and that is like 12. That is just so like, how the hell they pulled that. I mean, that is just so, it's so simple but effective, some of it. But I can't. It's actually messed up my mind, that scene. And I cannot wait. I'm seeing it again tonight actually, and I can't wait. As I say, I saw it, seeing it, and people were, when the name came up on the screen, Captain America Civil War, everyone clapped and cheered in the cinema. It was an event, this film, and it really felt like they knew that when they were making it. You could tell, like, the way that I mean, that scene, that airport sequence is just it's my favourite sequence in the whole film, and it's gonna be probably it's probably my favourite sequence in the whole cinematic universe, because that is an incredible scene. You've got Ant-Man there, you've got Spider-Man there, you've got Black Panther, you've got Captain America, you've got Iron Man, you've got all these things, you've got Hawkeye, you've got Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. It's gonna be, it's just been such an amazing thing to watch, and literally every bit you want to watch. And it's about a 2 hour 20-minute film, this film, and it felt like an hour and a half. It just went straight by because I was enjoying it so much. Loved what they did with this film, and I really sincerely hope that this is what all the Marvel films are going to be like now, because that was just an amazing, that was so good. But yeah, that is not the end scene in the film. You would think that from the trailer, or at least I did. But there's another bit in the trailer. I'm sticking to the trailer because that's the bit I know people will have seen, so I can talk about that in non-spoiler. But in the trailer, you have the bit with the shield, and Bucky and Captain America, Steve Rogers are throwing the shield to each other, but like hitting Iron Man with it at the same time. It's like, and let me tell you, as great as that scene is, you didn't feel like when you watched that trailer that was going to be an end scene. That is the end fight, really. The big fight at the end is between those three, and it's a personal fight, and that is just so well done. Like, you start with this big thing, because when they're having that big fight at the airport, you get the impression that no one's really taking it overly seriously. I mean, there's a bit where Scarlett Johansson says to Hawkeye, we're still friends, right? As they're punching each other, and he's like punching her, and then someone does something to her, and he looks over, and she's like, and they're like, oh, you were pulling your punches, because they're not taking it overly seriously. They're all making, Spider-Man's there pulling quips, and they're all talking to each other, and there's this thing, and then there's like little jokes being made and all that stuff, and it's really, really, really nice to see that, because that was a take that you couldn't do with other films, but you could, because of the nature and how we'd seen these characters develop. You could do that with this, and that worked so well. And then you had this fight at the end. It got a little bit more serious and a bit more personal, and you realised that this was a broken friendship. This wasn't just about them standing by their beliefs and butting heads over it. This was an actual war that they were willing to start with each other. And I'm not going to spoil for you what the reason is, but let's just say there is something that happens, and you find out some information in this film that makes you see why Tony Stark and Captain America are fighting. I said in my review that you saw, like, Tony Stark's always been the selfish one. This is Robert Downey Jr.'s best portrayal as Tony Stark for one simple reason, and that is that in this film he shows a diversity to that character that we haven't seen before, because that character over the films we've seen has developed, and he has been through a lot, and he's going through a lot in this film as well. And this film has really taken him to heights with his life in, professionally, personally, that he hasn't been to before. And you can tell this guy is stressed out, and he's really generally concerned about the victims of the people that he is, that, the whole film's about, the political battle that is going on with, should they be allowed in our society and all that, and all the countries that want them to sign this bill. You're really getting that impression that Tony Stark generally believes in this and stands by it and says, yeah, we should all be watched because this isn't right. Like, he's starting to feel the consequences of his actions, which is a very Steve Rogers sort of thing to do, or at least it normally is, but in this, and this is where, again, it's so clever, because in this, Steve Rogers is a little bit more Starky, whatever, because he's a little bit more inclined to take that, he's a little bit more inclined to take the selfish route, which is probably not portraying it the way they do in the film, but that's the way I see it, is that Captain America's thinking, well, why should we be, watched and all that when we're doing all this stuff, and there's more to it than that. I can't spoil anything, but I'm just saying that's how, the simple version of it is. And I think that is why, again, it just works so well, because these two characters that are so different and butted heads from day one, which I mentioned in my last video, they actually have the same sort of, they have the same opinion that the other person had, but at a different time. It's really strange. Like, it's really well done, and I love how they've done that. That is just a fantastic route to go with it's a fantastic premise, as the whole film is. It's just a fantastic film. Well, the casting is brilliant. Chris Evans as well in this. When I saw him in Fantastic Four, he was great. I was only a kid at the time. I loved Chris Evans in Fantastic Four. And then you see him play Steve Rogers in the Avengers and the Captain America films, and you think, wow, but in this, you're seeing, again, because he does that slight change of point of view and all that, you see a version of him that you just think, wow, like, this guy can act. This guy is an actor through and through, and he deserves everything he gets. Every paycheck he gets from this franchise, he deserves as much as Downey Jr. does. They are both giving gold star performances in this film. Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, always a pleasure, always great. Scarlett Johansson, always good to look at. Her hair's better in this one. There's so much I want to say that I can't, and because of that, it's filtering out things that I can say, because I'm not getting to that conclusion, because I'm not thinking about it, because I haven't prepared anything for this. It's just straight on as soon as I've seen it, and it is fantastic. So I'm going to leave it here with the comment that this film is absolutely mind-blowing. It's the best Marvel film. It's the best comic book film. It's solid film, really solid, and out of 10 I'm giving it a 9.5. Boom, there it is, done. Great film, love it, will love it probably forever and ever. So yeah, that's it. Brilliant film, brilliant movie. Hopefully you'll go see it. I'm going to go see it again. And once you've all had a chance to see it, because I know it's selling out in quite a few places, if you get the chance to see it by the end of the week, be sure to come and check out my full spoiler review, which I'll be doing, where I get to talk about those things that I can't. Really, really well done, this film. Really, I can't stress this enough. Marvel, you have got this going on. Please don't get too cocky with it. Keep going. You're doing great. You know, loved it. So please, if you've seen it, let me know what you thought. Please don't spoil anything in the comments of this one. And yeah, please, if you like this video, click like. If you want to see more, click subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. See you around.